All right. Review from last week. I have two terms here, and I have two terms here. So when I draw my box, it's going to need to have a 2 by 2 grid in it. I'm going to put my 6 and my negative 1y down the side, and I put the 1 in front of this y. I'm going to put my 1y and the 2 across the top. Then I'm just going to go through and multiply everything. 6 times 1y is 6y, 6 times 2 is 12, negative 1 times 1 is negative 1, y times y is y squared, negative 1y times 2 is negative 2y. And I'm going to write that down, and I'll look for some like terms that I can combine. So what do I got here? I'm going to go with anything that has a square first. So negative 1y squared, and then I've got a 6y, and a negative 2y, and a positive 12 at the end. It really doesn't matter what order you write those in, but those of you who are going to be taking higher level math classes in the next couple years, you want to start getting in the habit of always putting your highest exponents first, and then anything without a variable should come at the end. All right, let me simplify this because I can put this 6y and this negative 2y together. Positive 6 and negative 2 is going to give me positive 4y. Let me bring down the rest here. Negative 1y squared and plus 12. So that's going to be my final answer. I left the 1 off of my y squared, but I could totally leave that 1 on there if I wanted to. How many of you were able to get an answer that looks like that? Maybe in a different order, but the same stuff. Are we feeling pretty good about this? Kind of coming back? All right, this one's got 1 term and then 2 terms, so I need a box that's 1 by 2 this time, so I won't have as much work to do here. Negative 2x squared, 15x squared, and negative 3t. What? You think that's a typo? No? All right, let's go with it. We're going to have x's and t's in here. All right, let's do this. Negative 2 times 15 is negative 30. What's x squared times x squared? X to the 4th. Good. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. X squared times t, we're just going to have to include both an x squared and a t. And I'm going to follow some good habits and do alphabetical order. T and then x squared. Thank you. Gotcha. If you wrote that as x squared, 6x squared t, that's totally fine too. Again, good habit to put things in alphabetical order, but it's not necessary. Okay. See ya. So let's write down our answer. It's negative 30 x to the 4th. That's positive, so plus 6 tx squared. All right, next one's got 2 terms and 2 terms, so I need another 2 by 2 box. 6x, negative 11, 2x, and 5. 6x times 2x is 12x squared. 6x times 5 is 30x. We got negative 22x and negative 55. Writing all that stuff down. And then we've got some like terms that we can put together. 30x minus 22x is positive 8x. So final answer would be 12x squared plus 8x minus 55. And then our last one, we've got 1 and then 2 terms, so another 1 by 2 box. 16 and then 3 and then negative. I'm going to put a 1 in front of that m squared, negative 1m squared. 16 times 3 is, I want to say 48. Does that sound right? Yes, thank you. 16 times negative 1 is negative 16, and we got that m squared there also. When I write down my final answer, I'm going to put the thing with the highest exponent first. So I'm going to put my negative 16m squared first, and then plus 48 at the end. But if you did it in a different order, if you had 48 first and then minus 16m squared after that, that is totally fine. Totally fine. What questions do you guys have about the warm-up? Any questions about our warm-up? You guys show me on your thumb meter how you're feeling about multiplying these things with the boxes. At this point, I'm hoping that we're kind of in the upper half, that like we're getting pretty confident. If you've been doing your job, you would have practiced quite a few of these by now. Guess what? We're going to do even more of them today. Woo! We're also going to use them to solve equations, though. So we're going to get into our new notes.